Just like I promised you, here is the second worldwide concept featuring Gohan and Cell. I should have wrote Cell Saga. I don't know why I wrote Gohan and Cell, but it is what it is. We're focusing on the Cell Saga for this specific concept, and this is definitely in lieu of the recent leaks and stuff, but I want to make it clear that I am not basing this concept off of those leaks. Like, I'm not trying to incorporate Korin's Tower if that's indeed what one of the leaks was. I'm not trying to incorporate Trunks' time machine if that's what it indeed was. I'm just saying, you know what, it feels like Cell Saga. Let me go ahead and move up, because I was going to do this anyways, but now I'm moving it up and making, you know, or I'm releasing this one now just in case that it is actually Cell Saga before it actually gets confirmed, right? So this is my Cell Saga worldwide download celebration concept. A lot of tabs, a lot of things to go through. I would love your feedback. I would love for you to let me know what you think about this concept, and how would you rate this celebration out of 10 based off your own personal standards, right? I know the ratings will be different for everyone, so I understand that. No hard feelings. But what if we were to actually get this specific celebration, what would you rate it out of 10? And again, we'll go into details in a little bit, but I will say, if you want to stay up to date with everything regarding the worldwide celebration, we have a lot of news coming almost every other night. Sorry, every other night. So if you want to stay up to date, this is the channel to be. But there's also a bunch of other creators as well, so we're going to keep you covered no matter what. So consider liking our videos, consider subscribing, because we're doing our best for you to make sure you stay up to date with everything regarding the worldwide celebration. I appreciate you. Let's hop into this video, starting off with part 1, and I'm going to explain the reasons why I do everything here, but let's just move into part 1 of the celebration. Let me actually zoom in a little bit, that way we can actually see a little bit better. So part 1 of the celebration, let's take a look at the new units here. So for the new units, we have an LR Physical Carnival Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, an LR AGL Dokkan Festival Perfect Cell, so standalone Perfect Cell, standalone Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and then we have an an Enraged Perfect Cell banner unit who is a worldwide chaos support. Let me go ahead and explain this. So the reason why I went with Physical Gohan is simply because Physical Gohan in terms of Super Saiyan 2 has the least representation. We don't even have a TUR of Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which is definitely a little bit unfortunate, right? So since AGL Tech and Int already have an LR and STR has a TUR, I thought that Physical could definitely use it. On top of that, I would argue between STR and Physical, Super Physical needs a little bit more help than Super STR. So I was really comfortable giving Gohan that physical typing. And then when it comes to Cell, I mean, this is what we have for perfect form. Actually, this is what we have for Perfect Cell, but there's no physical variant and there's no AGL variant. So I'm not going to go physical because Gohan is physical, and I think we could all agree that out of all the extreme typings, we need more extreme class. Like, extreme tech is bad, but at least we have extreme tech options. We need more extreme AGL, especially extreme LR AGL characters, so that's why I went with Cell. And then we have the Enraged Perfect Cell. We actually don't have a single standalone Enraged Perfect Cell in the game, and we know that they actually care about that character because they gave him his own little transformation here within this AGL Cell, so they can definitely give us a standalone worldwide chaos support character you know, for this Enraged Cell there. So personally, I'd love to see that. Let me know what you think. I think this part 1 unit, or these part 1 units, do a really good job at poking the weaknesses between the super class and extreme class, the typings, and of course giving Enraged Perfect Cell his first ever standalone banner unit. And of course, Worldwide Chaos can definitely use the help. It's a really strong category, but it needs more glue to put all of these really strong extreme class characters together. So that is what I did for that. Now let's talk about the free units that you can acquire in part 1. And like my last concept video, these are not new units, rather awakenings for characters who desperately need them. And this is the first one. We have AGL Cell, Perfect Form Awakening. So in case you're confused, it's this character right here. You can actually acquire him from the OG Cell Dokkan event right here. And once you acquire this first form cell, you can then awaken him into this perfect form cell, but that's it. He has no TUR or anything like that, so giving him an awakening I think makes a lot of sense. They can build him however they want, I don't really care, but they need to awaken him, and they need to make him somewhat good. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you, Dokkan. And then we have an awakening for the Super Saiyan Goku, so a very recent character that both Global and JP got, and they kind of just left him alone. They just introduced him for some reason, right? And he's on the Android / Cell Saga category, so if we were to get a really big celebration centered around this, I think it'd be great to give him an awakening. Now, they may not change too much, because he is already doing a lot, but remember that, you know, he's a free unit, so even if this kit looked crazy, he wouldn't be doing too much anyways. But regardless, again, I think it'd be great to give him an awakening. But we have more free-to-play awakenings. We have STR Super Saiyan Gohan Youth. So we have this character right here available for 100 incredible gems in the Baba shop. It's unfortunate because, again, he has just been in the game since 2015 and has done absolutely nothing. So giving him an awakening to just Super Saiyan Gohan. It doesn't have to be Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, just Super Saiyan Gohan, right? An awakening would be, I think, really fitting. And then we have an awakening for Super Saiyan 2 Int Gohan, this character right here, who is also in the Babu shop. There is no awakening for this character. He's just standalone SSR Super Saiyan Gohan. So 4 free-to-play awakenings, and I didn't really go too crazy for the events within this specific concept, but I think we can definitely do with something like a daily incredible gem stage where you can get maybe anywhere from 30 to like 90 incredible gems per day, just maybe 1 or 2 runs maximum, maybe 3 runs maximum, and there's a chance to get 30, or you're guaranteed 30, a chance to get 60, and maybe even a smaller chance to get 90 incredible gems. This is something to help us afford purchasing both of these characters, right? And maybe they even include like a burst mode for the quest stages that actually allow you to get a really hefty amount of incredible gems as well. Or maybe they include you know, summoning Shenron or something like that, that allows us to get like what if we were able to summon Shenron during the celebration, and no matter what we chose for the wish, we got an added bonus of like 300 incredible gems no matter what, right? Just something, again, to help us you know, afford both of these characters here, since again they are free to play, but they're gonna cost a decent amount. Not everyone obviously has a lot of incredible gems, but that is basically it for the free units for part 1. Again, just 4 awakenings for characters who desperately need it, and this is definitely going to help out those who are free to play, because these are units that you may already have, and if you don't, you can go out of your way, grind them, and then now awaken them, and they can actually be decent for the Cell Saga team, right, depending on how they actually build them. But I think for free to play players, 4 free-to-play awakenings I think is very good. So we took care of, you know, the whale side of things, and we took care of the free-to-play side of things. Let's continue. We have new EZAs for this celebration, and we're gonna go ahead and do an EZA event for Tech Tien, and that is right. He is going to have his own event, and of course, as you can probably already guess, an EZA event for Tech Second Form Cell. So boom and bam. Now I will say that it's likely that they will drop these two in the same event, but look, it's our first, you know, it's our first look at the EZAs for these, you know, I forgot the term for these specific characters, like these, there was a term, these type, they call type supports, you know, they had like the AGL Pan and like the AGL Metarildo and like the STR Hit and STR Kaba. There's sets of these extreme and super class type characters that release on their own type banner. So what we could see is the tech type banner releasing, and maybe you're only allowed to do 3 multis. You can get the orbs for those multis, or sorry, orbs for these characters, and then these 2 characters get their EZA. But I would love for them to get their own individual EZA. It's only going to be 60 Dragon Stones, right? Like, it's 30 here and 30 there. I think we're definitely deserving of at least 60 free-to-play Dragon Stones in part 1, you know, regardless of everything else here. So I think, you know, again, it's likely for them to do this in the same exact, you know, EZA. but for the sake of this concept, I'd love for them to do it separately, and maybe that can set the bar for future EZAs for these type support characters. So that's my idea there. And then we have, and also I will mention this, right? When it comes to the Cell Saga, unfortunately, there is not a lot of Dokkan Festival options in terms of characters who can actually EZA. AGL Cell, not going to EZA. AGL Trunks, not going to EZA, right? Who else here? Tech. Trunks, literally, he's not even on global yet. He's not going to EZA, obviously. The tech androids are not going to EZA. For Int, no one here. Everyone's already EZA'd or not eligible. Future, I really wanted to give an EZA to Future Gohan, but it's a different form of Future. Like, this is Android / Cell Saga, and he's obviously on that category. But I didn't really feel right giving him an EZA because this is not his time to shine, right? This is, like... he's from a different kind of Future. It's a little bit different. So I wanted to give him an EZA, but I didn't really feel like it was right to give him an EZA. Who else here? No one, right? And then you're obviously not going to EZA Gohan and Goku. It's too early for them. I really wanted to give Super Vegeta an EZA, but he released in 2022 for global. Right, like he's not even 2 years. He's 2 years old on JP. He's not 2 years old on global. I felt like it would be too early for that. Again, I really want him to get an EZA, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it would be too early for that. So, in terms of hype Dokkan Festival EZAs, we don't really have much to work with here, which is why I went ahead and decided to not only EZA these two characters, but to also give them their own separate event, just to, again, increase the content that we're getting, but also the free-to-play Dragon Stones and Orbs and all that great stuff. So, keep that in mind. And also, remember that you're getting a lot of Orbs for these 30-stage events. So, you're getting... yeah, it's like you're getting a ton of orbs, a ton of tech type Kais. You're going to be good to go, basically. And the banner itself is returning, so keep that in mind. And then we have one new event here. Again, in my previous concept video, I went pretty, I wouldn't say crazy, but I introduced a lot of new events. You know, Rax, Rich's Zenny event here. I didn't really go too crazy with that because those things aren't really too important. I want to highlight the big hype things, because of course we really want to see a new Zenny event where we get a lot of Zenny, but I'm not going to write that down because those are just little things that can really help out, but not the main focus of the celebration. The main focus, I think, for part 1 for the new event, instead of something like SBR, we can get a new legendary Cell event. Stage 1 can be obviously first form Cell. Stage 2 is second form Cell, and I would love to see exclusive event anime. Can you imagine, like, you beat the enemy and then we see like cutscenes that you can obviously skip if you want, but cutscene animations, not just like the text popping up with the characters, like actual animations of, you know, Cell absorbing 17, Cell absorbing 18, right? And then we get stage 3, which is Cell perfect form. And after you beat him, he poops out his Cell Juniors, and we have a fight against 5 Cell Juniors. And then after you beat all of them, then Cell joins the fight again. Now for this stage 5, because it's going to be Cell Perfect Form and Cell Junior, you can either just have one boss of the LR Physical Cell and Cell Junior, or you can have Cell as a boss, and then the other 5 Cell. So basically you're fighting 6 different characters. It can be one or the other. Maybe the stage and the power of the stage is kind of held back a little bit, because if we're getting a new legendary event and there's 6 bosses in one phase, you're going to end up getting clapped if it's even close to the same level of power as previous legendary events when they first release, right? When legendary events first release, they're actually pretty difficult. Not like too OP, but they're definitely difficult to beat. And especially with the missions they add, like, oh, beat this event with, you know, super class androids / Cell Saga, beat this with future this. Like, it's going to be hard to really beat them with specific categories if we're fighting 6 freaking characters who are extremely strong. So it depends on how they really want to tackle it. But again, I just want us to fight Cell Junior. And then after you beat Cell Junior, we get Cell and Cell Junior for stage 5. Then stage 6 is going to be Perfect Cell. And then stage 7 is going to be Enraged Cell. And for this phase, I'd love a countdown mechanic where maybe he like blows up or something, right? And like if you don't beat him a certain amount of turns, or you don't do a certain amount of something in a certain amount of turns, he will blow up and you literally die. So I said die a little bit too aggressively, but you get the point, okay? I think for a part 1, this is, again, really good. I'm not going into details about Zenny event here, 5 times XP for quest mode here. Like, we can definitely add those things, and just assume those things are coming as I usually do. But for main celebration details, we're looking at a new 7-stage legendary cell event, 2 EZAs, plus the banner returning for these tech characters, 4 new free-to-play awakenings, and a long-awaited Super Saiyan 2 standalone Gohan from the Cell Saga. And I say long-awaited because, I mean, this guy obviously counts, but it's like, come on, bro, like, you know, like, come on, go on. Anyways, let's move on to part 2 of this Cell Saga celebration, and there's a lot to explain. Let's just go ahead and hop into it. So the part 2 banner, the Carnival LR, is going to be, let's just do one thing at a time here. Oh, it's okay. Let me do this, and then let me do this. Perfect. Okay, so part 2 is going to be an LR Tech Z Fighters Carnival character. Now, I can already hear it. Okay, I'm not hyped for that, but let me explain what I got, you know, under my sleeve here. Okay, so this is the scene of the Cell Juniors attacking the Z Fighters. So we have Vegeta, Trunks, Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, and Yamcha, right? My idea could be, and maybe, I really just try to picture this, okay? Imagine the card art is literally this. We have like a rock with maybe like Goku's out on front, and like these characters are like far in the back. And then like in the background art of the card, we have the head of Android 16. If you know where I'm going, you know where I'm going, okay? So for this character, the way it would work is the 12-key super attack. You would only see Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien launching an attack. The 18-key super, you will see Super Saiyan Goku, Super Trunks, and Vegeta launching their own attack as well, just to kind of like help not have too many characters launching a super attack, right? So between 12 and the 18 key, you'll see different characters attack, which I think could really add a nice unique factor to the character itself. I'm also thinking of a nullification or a counter attack with this scene right here. So this Cell Jr. was just beating Goku to a pulp, and before he launches next attack, Tien and Yamcha do hop in and basically gut punch this Cell Jr. literally right before as he was beating up Goku. Let me do this. So yeah, he was beating up Goku, almost about to punch him again. They came and grabbed him, and they did knee him in the gut. That, to me, is a beautiful example of a potential counter or a potential nullification for melee-based super attacks. Let me know what you think about that, right? Now, my next part of this character would be not necessarily a like revive ability. I mean, it could be, right? It could be a revive ability. I think it would work if it was a revive ability. But essentially, once this character dies, an animation plays where all of these characters are defeated. Like, you see a quick shot of everyone just on the floor, you know, just done, right? And Goku says, I'm sorry, I couldn't, I thought this would turn out differently. And then we see, we get a cutout to Android 16's head. Cell crushes it. Gohan goes like crazy, and then goes Super Saiyan 2 and launches a really big super attack. To me, that feels more like an active skill, it's like a revive, where, or I'm trying to think, because remember, like the way I want it to work is, again, these characters die, and then Gohan launches a really strong super attack. That seems more like an active skill, but if it was a revive ability, I think it could actually work, right? Because Gohan, let's say Gohan comes in, and Gohan, let's say, launches a super like OP attack that just guarantees like KOs the enemy or something like that. Like, let's remember, these guys are getting hit so much by these Cell Juniors. So what if they had an ability where if they got hit an X amount of times, Gohan comes in, gets like 100% attack, guaranteed crits, super effective against all types, even though it's not really necessary, and just go like literally obliterates the enemy. But you have to get hit like 20 times or like 15 times or something like that, right? It's almost like the STR Kaioken Goku, the STR Blue Kaioken Goku, but for this specific LR, because that character can launch a super OP attack, but you have to have this character's here and this character's there and Reps of Universe 7 here and all that type of stuff. So a character similar to that, but easier to actually activate, but not easier, if that makes sense. I just want to be like super strong attack where Gohan just obliterates the enemy, and then it gives a little bit of HP to the team or something like that. Or again, just an active skill. You take a certain amount of damage, you enter the turn on a certain amount of HP, you can activate it immediately, and Gohan does his damage, anything like. Or maybe. I'm sorry, I'm taking a long time on this because I can't, like, this is exciting to me. So I know we're still on part 2, but I'm getting through this. So maybe you can launch the active skill immediately. The moment you pull this character, you awaken him and run him into a team, or run them on a team. You can activate the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan active skill immediately. However, they have a gimmick or a mechanic where every single time they're hit with a certain amount of attacks, it strengthens the active skill for Gohan. And obviously it makes sense, right? Because Gohan not only went Super Saiyan 2 for seeing Android, like Android 16 getting like his head clapped, was like the pin, like the straw that broke the camel's back. But if you remember, Gohan was like shocked and like really upset at seeing all these Z fighters getting clapped too. So this definitely helped Gohan reach Super Saiyan 2. So it would make a lot of sense if they got hit 5 times, Gohan gets, you know, a little bit stronger. If they get hit 10 times, Gohan can't take it. They're getting beat too bad. His attack is going to be a little bit stronger, right? So something like that can make this character be like extremely powerful. Let me know what you think about that idea though. Carnival Z Fighters character. And then we have an LRSTR by Guy Super Saiyan Goku. He will be the Dokkan Fest. And this is the art here. I don't know who made this art, so shout out to them. It's absolutely beautiful. And I can already hear some, not complaints, but people saying, Mr. Baby, it's worldwide. There's no way they're going to drop 2 super class, extreme class characters. Sorry, 2 super class characters for part 2. And while I can agree with that notion, sorry, my dog is being a little, if she barks, I'm sorry. But what was I going to say? Usually, the Worldwide Celebration releases Extreme Class character, Super Class character, and then Extreme Class character, Super Class for Part 2. But if you remember, during the Worldwide Celebration 2 years ago, I think it was the Namek Saga Celebration, we got an AGL LR Krillin and Gohan, and then we also received a LR reviving Vegeta into Goku. I believe that Vegeta was Extreme Class, but Goku obviously was Super Class, which means that we technically receive. Let me pull up that LR here. That means we technically received 2 super class characters from part 2. I know it's a technicality, but it's a concept, man. I don't know what you offer, but let me see. Let me pull up Vegeta. Oh, I guess that they're not on Goku's family, right? That makes sense. Let's do, I can't do Earthbred fighters either. Let me go bond up parent and child just to pull them up really quickly here. They're not on that category either? Really? All right, man. Let me go back and let me pull up a Planet Namek Saga Gohan again, just to like kind of show you like my thoughts, or just to see like what exactly that character was, just so I don't, you know, talk out of line here. Planet Namek Saga. Here we go. So they were, yeah, extreme into super. So again, it's possible that we get 2 super class. It's more likely for us to get super and extreme class, but they've done it before, so I'm not gonna completely rule it out. And of course, Bye Guys Goku deserves a character. I don't know how his mechanic would work. Maybe it's like if you're about to receive a KO attack, he steps in and teleports the enemy away, and he gives you a little bit like an HP, like, you know, he heals you up for a little bit. Again, I don't know the mechanic. You can let me know how you'd love for it to work in game. But LR Bye Guys Goku and this Carnival LR Z Fighters, who could be really interesting with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. I think it's a really hype part 2. Not extremely hype, but like super hype part 2, especially if they do justice with these categories. Like, I understand that the categories are going to be a little bit wonky when it comes to these characters, but at least you have, you know, things like Android / Cell Saga, right? You have joined forces, right? What if they are the joined forces 200% lead? What if they're an Android / Cell Saga 200% lead? Who cares about their categories? What if they support too? What if they are an Android / Cell Saga 200% lead and they give that category 3 key and 50% defense? Who cares how they link with each other? Everyone is getting 3 key and 50% defense, so who cares? All right, let's move on. And then the banner unit for Goku is going to be an Int transforming base into Super Trunks, who is a Power Beyond Super Saiyan support. We can all agree Power Beyond Super Saiyan is a really strong team, but I personally believe that it lacks some glue that can hold these teams together. So getting a 3 key, 40% support base that transforms into Super Trunks, I think would be really cool. Plus, we get to see some more action from Super Trunks here, because we got action from essentially every main character, but Trunks needs a little bit of love here, because we got Gohan, we got Goku, we got the Z Fighters. So yeah, that's just my idea for the Part 2 banner units. Let's move on to the free characters, and we're only getting one free-to-play character here. It's going to be a Tech Tien and Yamcha that will be an Earthbred Fighters support. And of course, they will be getting their awakening here as well. So it's going to be an SSR that awakens into, again, their TUR level 120 out of 120 Earthbred Fighters support. Tien and Yamcha, I got that idea from looking at this scene here. I don't know, again, how they could work, but I know, again, everyone fights together, so I feel like they could definitely make it work. Plus, like, what else are you really going to do for, like, free units here? Like, we have literally every iteration of every character, so I feel like getting an Earthbred Fighter support, which, by the way, Gohan is an Earthbred Fighter, Goku's an Earthbred Fighter, so it's like, the option itself may not be too hype, but you're buffing really good characters if, of course, this character ends up being really, really solid. So that's my idea for that. But let's move on to the EZAs for this. We have 2 new EZA events. We have one EZA event that will be EZAing the Tech Cell and AGL Cell Jr. So more specifically, these 2 characters here. One event, 30 Dragon Stones for these 2 here. I was going to make them sub-EZAs, to be honest, but we need more EZA characters. We need more EZA events here, so that's why I went with these 2 for one event. And then the other event is going to be Int Android 16 plus AGL Super Vegeta. So these 2 will be coupled together for a single EZA event. Yeah, I think these 4 desperately need EZAs. 16 could be really, really interesting with his EZA. And maybe he's like, you know, guaranteed guards when you have Gohan on the team or something like that. Like, again, this could be a really interesting EZA. If this character, you know, was given justice, they could end up looking really good with Cell on the team. I mean, this character actually has a decent base, so I mean, if they allowed him to have a really strong support, it could be really cool. And then Super Vegeta needs a complete revamp, so hopefully they give him a little bit of respect there. But those are the 2 new EZA events for Part 2. And then we have something completely new that I'd love your opinion on. I'm not going to say it's super extremely needed, but I think it would be a really nice community event. So here we have a community challenge event, Charge the Super Attack Lab. It's just a name I came up with. I don't care if it's a real name or not. You can probably think of a better name, but the point that I want to come across here is that a lot of these units are really old. And you know the problem, right? Really old characters have really old bad animations. So what if we had an event where both Global and JP had to come together, spend stamina in the game, and the more stamina you spent over a given amount of time, the more you charge the Super Attack Lab. And if you were able to complete it, there was a unit or 2 or maybe 3 that gets a Super Attack revamp, right? And for Part 2, I specifically stated Perfect Cell, STR Perfect Cell, and STR Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So if you already remember, these 2 characters released right alongside each other, and I feel like if the community, both Global and JP, spent enough energy, it charged up the lab completely, and they went ahead and dished out, if we completed it, they go ahead and dish out completely new animations for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan here, and for this Cell. They can be completely unique animations. They can be updated animations with a little bit of tweaking here, a little bit of tweaking there. But I think, again, it's like these characters are not that great, right? We know that. But for people who don't have the craziest amount of options, at least they can go back, use these characters, and look at some pretty nice animations, right? Again, this is not an EZA. Like they're already not that great. But I think having, revamping super attacks, I think could be really, really cool. So you let me know what you think about that event. And again, there's rewards based off of it. So if you get all the all the stamina, if you use all the stamina required to actually, to revamp these super attacks, then maybe they give out 50 Dragon Stones per character, 30 Dragon Stones per character, 3 Kais here, 3 Kais there. And remember that during Worldwide, they're actually usually really giving with Dragon Stones. Like, remember 2 years ago we had like that Bulma event that gave us like 30 Dragon Stones every week. We had like 300 something Dragon Stones from that event, from that single event. So remember, again, it's definitely possible for us to get, I think it was it 250 Dragon Stones or like 300? It was a lot of Dragon Stones that we got. So I think, getting 30 Dragon Stones per character that we get done here is definitely possible. And maybe the more you contribute, the better, right? Like, let's say you contribute 5,000 stamina, you get this reward. 10,000 stamina, you get this reward. So the more you contribute to this before it actually ends, the better rewards that you get, which just entices people to actually play the game, right? That's my idea there. Let's move on to, and again, new events is going to obviously bring easy, Zenny stages here and skill orbs here and stuff and new missions for Red Zone and stuff like that. I didn't include it, but you can just assume that Red Zone will be getting, like the Red Ribbon Army, we'll be getting new missions for its Red Zone, new missions obviously for the Cell Legendary event, stuff like that, right? All right, here we go. Let's move on here to part 3 of the celebration, and here we have new EZAs. It's part of this page here. I didn't mean to do that, but it's fine. So for the EZA for part 3, we're looking at LR Physical Android 17 and 18 that exchange into Android 16. This character could actually be really, really, really interesting if they build them correctly. So what we got to do is we need 4 key, and 50% to stats, attack and defense. I don't care. 4 key and 50% to stats. Okay. Let's do 1 key is fine. What if we did 107? I don't care, dude. I don't care what they do. Please just make them good. Make this character good. Honestly, since he has 200% here, yeah, increase this to 178%. Why not? And then what if we did Android category allies 2 key, 50% to stats, and then an extra 50% to defense, not including this character? Great chance to dodge for the first few turns, and then it goes into a high chance to dodge. I don't know, dude. I don't know what they do for this character, but they can make him really, really good, and it could be yet another piece of glue that holds not only the Android / Cell Saga team together, but the Androids category together as well. So let me know what you think about an EZA for this character. And now let's talk about free-to-play EZA, so new Extreme Z area stages, and there's a lot to go over here. We have the Tech Tien and Yamcha EZA, of course. We have the AGL Goku's EZA, so specifically this character right here. We have the new EZA for the Cell, so this character right here. Let me go delete these two. Then we have the EZA for Super Saiyan. Where's Super Saiyan Gohan? I guess I didn't pull him up. So Super Saiyan Gohan, the S tier one I showed you earlier, around right here, as well as the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So all of those characters will be getting EZAs. It's like you're able to build almost a whole free-to-play team, right? With the, free-to-play EZAs that we're getting during this celebration. So you're getting 5 free-to-play EZAs this celebration, and for summonable characters, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 summonable EZAs and 5 free-to-play. I think that's very, very fair, to be honest. And then we have a community challenge event, Charge a Super Attack Lab, and we get a revamp for the LR Physical Super Saiyan Trunks Super Attack. And I know a lot of people are down for nostalgia, so maybe there's an option to keep his current Super Attack animation if you want it. Again, I don't know how that would work, but I think this character, his Super Attack animation is not bad, obviously. I think that if it uses slight touching up with more fluidity, if that's the proper word, I think again it would be really cool, just doing justice to some of these characters that deserve it when it comes to their super attack animation, just again increasing more content and increasing playability and stuff like that. So that's essentially my idea for a 3-part Cell Saga celebration here. Again, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and peace.